So it is my extreme pleasure to introduce my good friend, Dr. Lua Hancock. I want you to know a little bit about Lua. You saw yesterday how warm and inviting she is. She is super, super smart. She has her master's degree of science in conflict analysis and resolution, and a doctorate of education and higher education administration from Nova Southeastern University. She got her undergraduate at Rollins College, just down the street. But she's here, right? Yeah. In 2010, Lua was hired here at Stetson to lead our brand new Student Success Initiative. And she has been incredibly successful, so much that she is a nationally sought out expert on how you tie in the classroom learning with outside of the classroom learning, using common learning outcomes. She lectures frequently at conferences and is sought after as a consultant to help other student affairs teams work with their faculty better on college campuses around the country. She's incredibly smart and incredibly charming, which makes her an absolute delight to work with every day, and our students absolutely love her. So without any further ado, Dr. Lua Hancock.
What's up? How'd y'all sleep? Me too. I was like, they're all here, thank God. So I hung out with your students until about 11:30 last night. I always say, like, after I'm done with the parents' reception, I'm gonna go home. I'm just gonna pop by the students thing real quick before I leave. And then when I get there, it's so much fun, I can't leave. Every year I do this to myself. I even told my staff, like, in 5 minutes, be like, go to bed, but I just can't do it. So I'm gonna show you later on today a picture of how they end the evening last night, if you didn't hear, is they play the world's largest game of rock, paper, scissors with every incoming student. They end up with one champion. I don't remember her name. She has long blonde hair. She was wearing all white shorts, white long sleeve t-shirt. If you think this might be your daughter, I can show you a photo. It was epic. She was like up on people's shoulders. It was like just epic. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I always can't leave because there's such energy in the air, such new energy. It's very exciting. So this is going to be our day today. You're being welcomed right now. Welcome you. You have been sufficiently welcomed. Check. So we put this together. We've changed it over the years depending on specifically what our parents want to hear more about. And so we are going to have Lindsay from our dining area come and chat with you a little bit. And then Stacy from our academic success area will talk a little bit about supporting your student academically. Our career office will come and talk to you about being a parent as a career coach. I don't know why, there's just a W. But you're gonna be talking to them about how you can be their career coach and how you can help us. We've talked about this throughout, but it is true. One of the best ways that we get new student internships and that we get grads hired is your organizations too. So although you're gonna be coaching your individual student, we would also love to connect with you on the connections that you have and how we can integrate them into the Stetson experience as options for them. And then there will be a break in the middle where you'll have lunch. And then there is a session that you will attend, either the residential session or the commuter session, so that you can talk more about that. The Safe and Healthy Campus will be public safety, and they'll talk a little bit about alcohol use and other things as well. And then you'll end up last with me. You're not quite done with me yet. One more thing with me where we'll talk for a few minutes, and then you'll wrap up and you'll get your diploma, and then you'll go home. That's what we should put it down there. Then you'll go home. Sometimes parents are like, I don't know when to go home. That's between you and your child, but most parents go home there. Because I only use examples that have really happened, because that's how fun my job is. So when we're running the residence hall meetings at night, and like 9:30 at night, they're getting to meet their other residents, and we're going around, I don't want to be judgmental, because there's non-traditional students. So I was like, maybe that's a non-traditional student. Nope, that's someone's mom. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know that this is like just the place. So yeah, if you have any questions about where you should or should not be, feel free to grab me on the side, and we'll talk about it. So that's what we're going to do today. The goals today are kind of simple. We want to empower you with information. We want to increase your comfort. We want to let you meet and network with other families. So just like students, get out of your comfort zone, shake hands with a new person, get to meet someone new. And we want to let you graduate. So it's like what we're going to do with your student in 4 years, and we're going to do it in like 4 hours. And then you're going to graduate. So I'm excited about today and the options that we have for you. I feel, I joke that I went to Rollins until I knew better, and then I came and worked at Stetson. Don't tell them I said that, because I do love them as well. But I feel really lucky. I actually, when I was a student at Rollins, is where I met Rena. She worked there in student affairs, so we've known each other for a very, very long time. And you all probably experienced that moment in your life where you actually had the ability to choose your career. The first couple jobs I took, I loved them and I made smart choices, but basically like, I have a job, yay, look, I landed a job. And then after doing a few jobs, I really started to get to know myself better as a person and a professional, get to know my family and what my family needs, kind of start to think about what boss I like, what kind of place I like to work for, what values I have. And when I made a job search, started looking about 10 years ago at different options, I really was being very picky. And I love when you're at that point in your career, if you've had that point where you can be like, I got a job. I got that. I'm all set. But I want to find a place where I fit, where I want to be for a long time, a place that I believe in. And I felt like a student again when you go on college tours, because I started going to campuses and interviewing. Part of it is, what do they tell you? What vibe do you get when I talk to the people on the side? But also part of it is just, when I'm there, does it feel genuine? Do I feel like the people are truly who I want to hang out with? Do I believe that they live their values? Do I believe that they are optimistic and a little bit foolish enough to believe that we can make a true difference in the world? Because that's what I believe, and I don't want to be at a place where everyone thinks that that is wearing rose-colored glasses. I want to be in a place where everybody believes that that's revolutionary, and I found this place. So I think about it often how you guys hopefully think about it. It was a very purposeful choice for me. I've been here now 6 years. I totally love it. I wouldn't be anywhere else. So I'm really, really super excited when it's August, and we add all of you to the ever-growing Hatter family. And the last thing I'll mention is Parents Facebook. A couple of you have been like, I'm not super Facebook savvy, and you came up to me and showed, but that's okay. There's also a parents website, or there are parent handouts in the back for people who need paper. But the Parents Facebook, if you get a chance, please go on, search Stetson Parents and like the page. The video from yesterday where they made the 2020 is already on there. There will be photos available as well eventually, but the video is already on there, and this video will be on there later today. And when I present to your students tomorrow, I will show them this video. Which is awesome. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm around all day today. I'll be hanging out in the cafeteria, walking around at lunchtime. If you need anything, there are no dumb questions. So please make sure that you stop us and ask. Many of you are sending your first child to college, and many of you did not graduate from college yourself. We know from our data. That is one thing I love about Stetson, is how diverse we are. So please, please do not hesitate to ask us a question. And don't hesitate to just go all out awkward with your student, lay on the lawn, take a selfie, just be a student, because the campus is gorgeous. It's a beautiful day outside. Come and go throughout today as you need to. Take what you need from today with you. And please, please, almost all the people you'll hear from today are my team, and they want to work with you and partner with you and answer all of your questions. So don't be afraid to interact with them. All right, so I'm gonna hand this back to Woody. Thank you guys for coming. I had so much fun with you yesterday, and can't wait to hang out with you again today.
Thanks, Lua. So it is my pleasure to introduce the Director of Marketing for Stetson Dining Services. She is a triple hatter with degrees in political science, sports management, and she also received her MBA a few years ago. Welcome, Lindsay Bishop.
Thank you, Woody. They keep telling me it's time to leave and I graduate, and I just keep finding ways to come on back. And then now they trust me with a microphone, which is really scary. So anything could happen in the next 30 minutes. I'm super excited. So we're gonna talk about dining. If you are currently hungry, I apologize. I'm going to talk about food, but there are not that many photos of food. So here are our meal plans. How many of you are currently familiar with your student's meal plan? Perfect. So our 15 and 19 meal plans are our traditional meal plans. For our 15 meals, we suggest students who either don't eat breakfast or tend to go home on the weekend. We suggest that meal plan for them. If you're a coffee in the morning and go type person rather than eating like myself, that's probably the meal plan that is best for your student. The 19 meal plan is our traditional about 3 meals a day. On the weekend, we do a brunch schedule because we've discovered that if your student does not have to get up on the weekend, they are not going to. And then our unlimited meal plan gives you unlimited access to the commons and then 1 meal exchange per day in our retail locations. And we'll go through what a meal is and what a meal exchange is in a little bit, but I just wanted to introduce that. Your meals, they are a use it or lose it type deal. They roll over Friday at midnight, so Thursday going into Friday. If your student does not use them, they will lose them. So please encourage them to eat with us. Our sophomores and above can choose one of those other meal plans. So if you have a transfer student with you, they are allowed to choose any of those. And our commuter students as well, we suggest meal plans for, but really look at your student schedule. If they're gonna be on campus quite frequently, it might be a better idea for them to have a meal plan. For some of our commuters, it's just not realistic. They're only here a few times a week, and it doesn't make sense for them, and that's okay. And we also have what are called Hatter Bucks. So our Hatter Bucks are a dollar for dollar system. It's kind of like a debit card. You swipe them in any of our locations. You can also use them at athletic concessions, and they will come off of your student's ID card as well. So everything's located on your ID card. Before I move on, are there any questions about that? Yes, this is where we get the most questions. Okay, so if you just want to do Hatter Bucks, you can either call the Hatter One Card office, or there is a Get Funds website. Have your student create the profile, because when you create 2 profiles, it gets a little wonky, and then you can add Hatter Bucks on there. Yes, ma'am. They roll over Friday at midnight, so Thursday going into Friday. If they run out of meals, they run out of meals. And they can use Hatter Bucks at that point to purchase something if they need anything. Hatter Bucks are for the semester, so they roll over. Any unused Hatter Bucks at the end of the fall semester will roll over to the spring semester. Anything not used at the end of the spring semester will expire. He can swipe as many times as he wants to in a day. Those are the only meal plans without any restrictions in meal periods. So if he wants to bring in him and 74 of his closest and dearest friends, that's a conversation you need to have with your student. Oh, that was for the unlimited meal plan. If they do not use their 1 meal exchange per day, does that meal exchange roll over? No. Only the commuter meal plans. For residential meal plans, which are any of the other ones that are listed, it is only for the student listed on the ID card. They can also not use it for their families as well. I'm sorry. But they do have 2 friends and family passes per semester on their cards. And they can also use their Hatter Bucks to purchase something if they want to for a friend. In the Commons, it's $10.11, not including taxes. Oh, I'm sorry. That was how much does it cost to get into the Commons, and that was $10.11. So the Commons is our all-you-care-to-eat facility. That's why it's so expensive. So it's 3 swipes per day, 1 swipe per meal plan period, which is listed in your student's brochure and on our website, and you cannot exceed 3 swipes a day. You can also, so any places where you can use Hatter Bucks that are not on campus, you can use them currently at Papa John's and Domino's. So if you do not want your student to only purchase pizza, please have that conversation with them. For the unlimited meal plan, you can swipe unlimited times in the Commons. So there aren't any restrictions on that one, but you have 1 meal exchange per day. So typically, with our students, they're asking about why there is such a difference between the Hatter Bucks and the 19 and the 15 meal plans. So for the 15 meal plan, it's typically for a student who wants to grab a cup of coffee and go. So we give them more Hatter Bucks so that they can use their Hatter Bucks to purchase just a cup of coffee rather than using a meal exchange for that. She can spend as many Hatter dollars as she well pleases. I mean, and if you want to add more, we are not against that. The Hatter Bucks, they're a dollar for dollar value, so if you want to go in and purchase an entire meal that is not covered by meal exchanges, which we will get to, then you can use your Hatter Bucks to purchase a full meal if you want to. They're on your ID card. You just tell the cashier you're using Hatter Bucks rather than a meal exchange. Your student will automatically be enrolled into the 19, but if you want to switch it, you are more than welcome to purchase the 15 meal plan. So to exchange them, they go onto their my.stetson.edu portal, and where she's purchased the 19 to begin with, she can switch it to the 15. And if you have any problems with that, my contact information is on one of the last slides, so let me know if they are unable to do that. The last day to switch is always the add drop date in each semester, and for the fall semester, that is August 31st, so that is the last day that they can change their meal plans. So what we really do is encourage, it's the first week of classes, encourage your student to take a look at their schedule, see when they're eating. If they're coming straight out of high school, they're used to eating breakfast, but if they don't have a class until 11 a.m., chances are they're not getting up at 8 a.m. So really take a look at their schedule and see when they're going to eat and make that final decision before then. The question was, you can normally buy Starbucks gift cards or whatever. Can you buy Hatter dollar gift cards? You can put Hatter dollars onto their card, but you can't purchase a gift card specifically. And none of our locations accept any national gift cards as well. They can always ask any one of the cashiers. Most of our students do not take their receipts with them, nor do their parents either. But if they ask any of the cashiers, they can run it. Even before they swipe, they can run it to see how many they have left. The first question was, you want to see if you want to change your meal plan at the end of the semester. That is a conversation you have to have with your student. We don't track it. But you can always reduce if you want to the second semester. Second question. The sophomore is based on credit hours, not how long they've been here. So you might have a transfer student who is automatically a sophomore. They can choose any one of the plans selected. There are 2 times which the meal plans shut off, and that is for Thanksgiving break and for spring break. Thanksgiving break and spring break, and so there's a different schedule, and we post that well in advance and let your students know. So you're not paying for those either. Mondays during normal holidays where it's just a long weekend, you're covered. Yes, ma'am, the Commons does accept cash. $5 for all you guys this weekend. If she purchases a banana, is it going to go on her meal plan or her Hatter dollars, correct? Okay, if she goes into the coffee shop, I would purchase it as Hatter Bucks. I would not use a meal exchange for a banana. The Hatter Bucks are a part of the meal plan, so she can say, I would like to charge this to my Hatter Bucks, and it will be charged to her Hatter Bucks, or she can pay cash for it if she wants to. Yes, she will need to say this is either a meal exchange or Hatter Bucks. So now that now that you guys all have all of this information, right, yeah. Yes, you can change your student's meal plan. So they will go to their my.stetson.edu portal and log into it, and where you selected the unlimited to begin with, you can drop it down if you would like to. And again, that date is August 31st is their last chance to change that. Credit cards are accepted on campus. Gift cards are not. So if you have a Starbucks gift card or a Starbucks Gold card, apparently that's a thing. I don't know, I don't like Starbucks coffee. We do not accept those, no. Visa gift cards, yes. So if it has a Visa or a MasterCard or Discover, you're good. Yes, thank you. Any other questions? If they want to eat in the Commons and they want to take it to go, there is a to-go container, and that is a one-time $6 purchase. They can fill that up in the Commons and then take it wherever they would like to. All of our other locations, you can order anything to go. They're go. Like any type of normal buffet, if you swipe and you eat in there, you are not supposed to take food out with you, no. Okay, so the question was about the Fifth Third Bank card and account attached to your Hatter One card. They are 2 separate accounts. The Hatter Bucks are completely separate from whatever debit money she puts in there. Where she can utilize that, I'm assuming any place you can utilize a debit card. I don't know, I'm not the bank. She can use the student card because there is a debit card attached to that. These are all of our dining locations on campus. The Commons is our all-you-care-to-eat facility. There is a bunch of different options in there. The coffee shop is a We Proudly Brew Starbucks. It is not a full Starbucks store. We have our on-the-go program that is attached to that. That is a lot of grab-and-go items. We have Einstein's Brothers Bagels on campus, which is bagels. Shocking. There's a lot of different sandwiches involved in there and salads as well as that. There's a Johnny Rockets on campus as well. And an Outtakes, which is our convenience store. There's a bunch of different small items in there. So if they need batteries or something, they can go in there and buy some batteries. Any questions about our locations? Cool. What's a meal exchange? So a meal exchange is this. In each one of our locations, you can use a meal swipe for certain things that are listed on our menu. It does not cover the entire menu. All of these things are labeled at each location. So for example, in Einstein's, your student can go and grab a coffee and a bagel for a meal exchange and be on their way. You can use meal exchanges with any one of the meal plans. The unlimited just gives you one per day. So the 19 and the 15, they can use all their meals in retail locations and never even come into the Commons if they don't want to. Yes, if they are purchasing a meal exchange, please have them say, I would like to use a meal exchange for this. Thanks. They can use cash anywhere on campus. We always accept cash. Always. Always. Or a debit card. Any way you want to give us money, we're fine with it. So, we have a lot of healthy food options, and there are some unhealthy food options. So if you have specific expectations with your child or student on how they should utilize their meal plan, please talk to them about that. We have a full salad bar in our Commons with a bunch of different options. So there are healthy options, we promise. You can come take a look if you want to, but please open up that dialogue with your student, and you can call me, but I'm gonna tell you that there's healthy options. So our dietary needs, these are icons that are located in each of our facilities, mainly the Commons and our Outtakes and on-the-go program. So if your student is vegan or vegetarian, they are just gonna look for this icon and all of their foods will be labeled. If they have any allergens and if they have severe allergens, please let us know. The person you will contact is Barbara Stoles, and she's sitting right there. So if you want to attack her after this, that's the person you should talk to. That's her phone number. You can put it in your cell phone and just call her all the time. That'd be great. But if your student does have dietary needs, if they're an athlete and you want to make sure that they've got a lot of protein, talk to your student about finding protein. There's a lot of protein. Any questions about dietary needs? Cool. Again, we do not keep track of what your student eats. So if your student needs an unreasonable amount of vegetables or fruit, please talk to your student about that. We don't keep track of what they do, so I cannot run a report for you and be like, your daughter ate 4 hamburgers at Johnny Rockets yesterday, I'm sorry. And I can't go to the cashier and say, you can't serve Susie some hamburgers because her dad called me yesterday. So I'm sorry. We will run out of ketchup, I promise. And that's okay. There are a lot of rush periods where we will run out of some things. So all of your students will have access to this phone number and our website. So this phone number comes directly to my phone. It is not my personal phone number, so please do not text me at ungodly hours. This comes directly to our phones, some of our management team phones as well. So if you are out of ketchup in the Commons, instead of going and talking to someone, which is really strange for our students sometimes, they can text us because it's 2016, and that's okay. And we will get someone who can take care of that problem immediately. Any questions? Cool. The renovation. So there's a nice rumor going around that we're going to be cooking out of a tent, and we're just going to barbecue for 5 years. It's great. We're not cooking out of a tent. There is a big fenced-off area in the back of the Commons currently, and there is a temporary kitchen going there. For lack of a better words, it is a steel box. And all of our current kitchen equipment that is going to be moved into our new facility will be moved into that temporary kitchen. And any of the new products we are getting for our kitchen will be moved into that facility as well. So it is a fully functioning kitchen. We are not barbecuing. We have told the health inspector about this. She has looked at the plans. The health inspector comes quarterly, unannounced. We have outside companies who come and audit our cleanliness. So our food and health standards are of the utmost importance to us. So more about the renovation. This is what the finished facility is going to look like. This year is going to look pretty much exactly the same that it does now, with one minor change. Around spring break-ish, we will move our coffee shop into the SGA office, which is in the atrium of the Carlton Union building. And one night, we will turn off the coffee shop and turn on the kiosk, so we will never lose service to our coffee shop. This is the current plan. This could change tomorrow, for all I know. You know construction. At that point, over the summer, we will move our servery from the Commons into the coffee shop. Seems like a tight squeeze, right? It will be, but it all fits, I promise. We've measured it. So all of next year, the servery will be located inside the coffee shop, but we are not losing any options for our food, so all the wells and places where we currently have products will all just be moved over into a different location. At that point, we will still keep the seating area for the Commons, so they're kind of hard to explain it, but they're like big black pillars in the Commons. We will keep all of that seating, and there will just be a different wall there. So none of the options will be lost. And then in fall 2018, which is not 5 years from now, we will open up this facility. Any questions about renovation? We're super excited. So next year is going to look a little wonky, and we know that, but we have put a lot of thought into how we're laying everything out and getting everything done. So maybe I didn't answer any of your questions, and that's okay. But if you want to call Obama, you can tell him I said hi. Myself and a couple of our other management teams will be standing outside of the Commons right after this. They actually should already be there at a high top table in the atrium of the Cub to be able to answer any of your questions that you or your student might have. If you or your student are not able to get there because they have other things to do today, please use that text to solve problem, that number, and you can ask me personally, or you can email me. But our leadership team, half of them are sitting right over here. So Barbara, again, call her, not me. She's our senior director. So Barbara hails from St. Louis. She has owned her own restaurant. She's done a bunch of different things. Kendra Reed, who is this gal right here, she is our director of retail dining. So all of our retail locations, our Johnny Rockets, our Einsteins, all of those are under her umbrella. Taylor is in the top right-hand corner. She is our controller. She handles all the billing. So, but don't call her if you have a billing question, call the university. Marie, who is sitting over here, she is not on this picture because she is brand new. She is our director of residential dining, so she oversees the Commons. So any questions that your students might have about the Commons, they will direct them to her. And I'm going to skip Patrick for now. Jim is our director of catering. You're probably not going to call Jim for anything, let's be real. And then Patrick, do you want to stand up? Patrick is our brand new executive chef. He's already annoyed with me. He is most recently from Auburn University, and apparently they have some sort of good athletic team there, from what I hear. I don't know, something about a war eagle. And he's really worked extensively with their athletes, so if your student is an athlete and needs special accommodations, he's your guy. You can call him all the time. Patrick also served in the Navy for 5 years, so we want to thank him for his service. Our sous chef, Matt Fetchick, is not listed up here, but Matt is a wonderful chef as well. He comes from Disney and has owned his own restaurant as well. He's been published in Bon Appetit magazine. So the core of our program is really at producing good quality food for our students, because at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, and that is to make sure that our students are well fed and well nourished to be able to do well in their classrooms. And they can choose to make bad dietary decisions, like there's pizza available, and some days it's just really hard to walk away from it. But we hope that your students do make the best decisions that are for them. But really, any questions? Yes, ma'am. What constitutes a meal? A meal is, if you go into the Commons and you swipe, that is a meal. If you use a meal exchange in any one of our outlets, that is considered a meal. It varies at each location based on what the meal exchange is. It's a little confusing. Yes, the takeout box, it is a $6 one-time fee. They fill it up, they leave, they bring us back the dirty one, we clean it and give them a new one. They don't have to clean it because we don't want them to clean it in their rooms. That's kind of gross. If they swipe into the Commons, they can eat whatever they want. They can eat 4 pizzas if they want to. There is macaroni and cheese, there is cheeseburgers, there is a salad bar and a burrito station. So the freshman 15 could get real right about now. The Commons is open until 8 p.m. every night. There is something open between 7 a.m. and 2 a.m., so there is 5 hours where they can't eat, and we really hope that they're sleeping. Okay, so if there are any other questions, myself or someone from our management team will be outside of the Commons. If you think of anything, if your student thinks of anything, you can always text us, email us, call us. Good? Food? Thank you.